Hi guys, Professor Gustavo here. Let's take a look at tonight's UFC 232 where Michael Chiesa submitted Carlos Condit with a one-armed Kimura from top half guard. Very interesting variation here to deal with a common problem from the top half guard that we're going to be talking about really soon. So the biggest problem of finishing the Kimura from top half guard is that the hips are too close together because my opponent is trapping my leg, right? So my hip stays close to my opponent's hip, allowing him to sit up because there is not much weight over my opponent's torso. I have weight on his hips and I'm controlling his arms, so his torso is kind of free. If it sits up, he might be able to release the pressure of the Kimura and eventually wiggle his arm out. It's very common. That's why it's hard to finish. So we have to find a way to trap my opponent's upper torso and ideally his head if I want to finish this submission. It's not that's impossible to finish like this. Even this is Clark Gracie. He's going to eventually work around and he's going to catch the guy again. But you see that's not the ideal position. He's still too low. His opponent is still sitting up. If his opponent was maybe more flexible, he would not tap. Because also with this traditional figure 4 grip, Kimura grip, see that Clark Gracie he's pretty much maxing out the extension of his right arm. He cannot drive much further than that. Yeah, his opponent is tapping, but if the opponent was more flexible, probably he wouldn't tap. And Clark Gracie cannot push or drive his opponent's arm much further than that. If we compare to the side control position, see that because the leg is not trapped in between the half guard, see that Frank Mir here against Nogueira, Frank Mir has his hips super high next to Nogueira's head, so there's a lot of weight on top of Nogueira's torso. And Frank Mir has almost this diagonal position here with a lot of weight on top of Nogueira's torso. It's still not the ideal position. Frank Mir would like to step over Nogueira's head to really keep his head down and not let Nogueira sit up. Nogueira finds his way, forces his way, and starts sitting up, escaping, but because the Kimura is so tight at this moment, Frank Mir just rolled out and lands on top again, and now he steps over the head, killing the angle of the sit-up, establishing the position, finishing in a classic manner. So what was interesting here was that Chiesa starts on this position here, which I call cross-body pass from the half guard. So he starts attacking the Kimura, he is too low, hip by the hip, Condit is already sitting up, releasing the pressure and killing the angle of the Kimura. Chiesa forces there, right, driving his arm, Condit's arm behind his back, but still not quite the angle to finish. Maybe Chiesa is even trying to step his leg over Condit's head since he's so lanky here. Maybe if he traps Condit's head here, would be a done deal, right? It's very hard to do this, but Chiesa, since he's so lanky, maybe that was what he was trying to do, but eventually he realizes that it's going to be hard to do that. He cannot control Condit's head, so that comes the little variation here that's so interesting. He's going to change grips. He's going to actually control Condit's wrist instead of with his right arm. He's going to control with his left hand. And instead of turning facing Condit's head, he's going to face Condit's leg. So he's going to keep Condit down with his left ribs and left lat. Since he's looking now at Condit's leg, he can drop his lats and his ribs on Condit's face, preventing him from sitting up. And the one-arm grip here allows Chiesa to extend this arm all the way as much as he wants. If he had the Kimura grip here, he would max out his right arm. He wouldn't be able to extend Condit's arm enough. So he extends his left arm, finishing the Kimura plus controlling Condit's head with his rib cage, which was just really great finish from Michael Chiesa.